Today is October 24th. It is the 18th day of the war between Israel and Hamas and even Hezbollah. Let's look at some Hebrew headlines in the Hebrew newspapers. המשחק של Hamas, the game of Hamas. עוד שתי משוחררות, 2 more are released from the hands of Hamas. But in red it says about 220, כ-220, עדיין חטופים. About 220 are still in captivity. The women's names are Yocheved Lifshitz, she's 85-year-old, and she's released, while her husband is still in captivity, Oded Lifshitz. And the other woman's name is Nurit Kofer, she's 80 years old, she's released. And her husband, Amiram Kofer, is still in captivity. And this is the lead story as well in Haaretz, where the 2 women are released. Let's look at another headline. That is a quote from a terrorist that was captured by the IDF. We were promised a reward if we bring a hostage. We were promised an apartment, dira, $10,000 and $10,000. And in the photo down here, we see a frame of the actual video of a terrorist, a Hamas terrorist, being interrogated. And he says, in Gaza, be'aza, mi shemevi shvuim mekabel ma'anak. Whoever brings a hostage gets a reward. This headline reads, Shekol ha'olam yishma, that the whole world will hear. And it's about the families of the missing and still kidnapped, leaving to Europe and America as a delegation to put pressure on top political officials in order to bring back the hostages and the missing. Here in the picture, we see a few of the representatives of the families with pictures of the kidnapped and the missing. And in this little square, it says, Israel b'milchama, Israel at war. Ma'avak ha'mishpachot, the battle of the families. By the way, I want to show you ads. The newspapers naturally have ads, but in these days, the companies are advertising themselves, but with a special sensitivity to the days of war. And their message is unity. This is all across the advertisements and newspapers. So here's an eye company advertising themselves, but they're saying together with you. In Hebrew, Yachad itchem. And we see here a flag of the Israeli flag. And we see here Yachad b'chanuyot, which means together with you in the stores. Yachad ba'atal, together with you in the website. Yachad b'telefon, together with you on the phone. And Yachad until home, Yachad ad habayit. And the slogan these days is Yachad nenatzeach, together we will win. And we see this throughout all of the advertisements in the newspapers. Let's turn a page. And in each edition of the newspaper, there's dedicated a page here that's called The Hostages, the Chatufim. And there's usually a picture of a family member holding photos of the ones missing or kidnapped. And in this picture, we see a mother holding photos of her 2 daughters that are kidnapped, a 15-year-old and an 8-year-old girl. Turning a page, it says the very high motivation. About 15,000 citizens in Israel volunteered to serve in the military, even though they were not required to do so. And they're asking, the IDF soldiers and officers are telling Netanyahu, the prime minister, please just do not stop us. It's or us or Hamas. They're waiting to go into Gaza, and they've never been so ready before. But in red, it says the American foot, the regel Amerikait, is on the brake pedal, al habrex. Next is Im ha'einayim be'aza, b'Lebanon, u'v'Yehuda v'Shomron, with eyes in Gaza, Lebanon, Judah, and Samaria. Gufei ha'bitachon, the security forces, are getting ready for any scenario in all fronts. The main headline reads, Ma'aracha rav ziratit, a multi-front war. The events on October 7th have forced the security forces to get ready in highest alert in all fronts. In this square it reads, Israel b'milchama, Israel is at war, drichut si, in highest alert. And there's a photo here of IDF soldiers who are getting ready and preparing. The next headline reads, it's a financial update. In the finance ministry, they're putting together a new budget, taktiv chadash, for this emergency, as they did in the COVID time. And the deficit will dramatically increase. The main headline reads, Me'efo yagi'u asrot hamilyardim, where will the billions of dollars come from? Hamilchama, the war, gobbled up the budget that was planned for the year 2024, and it will come at the expense of essential services for citizens, such as chinuch, education, briut, health, v'revacha, social services. And the deficit is estimated to get to 80 billion shekels, which is approximately $20 billion. The war touched every citizen and soldier with grief. And many of us are seeing people that we know every day. New faces are put here of those who did not make it. These are citizens and soldiers, of elderly and children. Let's look at some names. Jenny, Amit, Barak, Lior. And it reads, Israel b'milchama. Israel is at war. Hapanim shenizkor la'ad. The faces that we will remember forever. May the memory be blessed. Yehi zichram baruch. This article is positive about the animals that survived. Alive and kicking, chayot uvatot. Israel b'milchama. Israel is at war. Giborim al arba. Heroes on 4 legs. So while many family dogs were deliberately shot and killed by the Hamas terrorists, others survived and they're being treated for their wounds. They're waiting to be reunited with their families, those who survived. And others are being waited to be adopted into new homes. This is a first-hand look into our Hebrew newspapers. For more stories, go to allisrael.com and follow us on social media to get the reality of what's happening here in Israel out there. This is Rotem Magen reporting from Jerusalem for All Israel News.